this is Veronica and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start something new that I've been really excited for the past couple weeks. And we're going to be playing with Vivian Woods, which is the sim that I made in my first Create a Sim video. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it at the end of the video. And we'll also be playing in the City Chic apartment that I did in my first speed build. And what we're going to be doing is a brand new Let's Play that I've designed. Actually, it's a Sims challenge I've designed that we're going to be playing through, and I'm calling it the Witch in the City Challenge. I've outlined a bunch of goals because, as you know, if you watch the Create a Sim, Vivian here is kind of has a witchy vibe, or at least that's what I was going for when I created her. So we're going to be exploring that, and she also lives in the city, so we're kind of doing a modern witch adventure type thing. And so there are a bunch of goals for this challenge. And we're going to be working through those goals over time. And as the game expands and, you know, The Sims 4 is always adding new stuff, I think the challenge will expand with it. So here are the goals that are in the challenge so far. I'm going to outline them and then we'll get started. And as you can see, Vivian's in the hallway. She has not touched the apartment yet. You're going to get to start the challenge with me. I have done no preparation except for adding her to the save and adding her to the apartment. Okay, so for the challenge, first, we're going to complete the botany aspiration, which, as if you watch the Create a Sim, then you know she already has that aspiration, so that's what we're going to be working on first. But I didn't add any rules. It's not a super strict challenge, like if you've done a legacy challenge before and you've played by every single rule. There aren't penalties, there isn't a point system. It's more about playing the sim to her fullest and kind of exploring the character and making the most use you can of the games and the game packs various skills and things that The Sims has to offer. So we have to complete the botany aspiration. We have to complete the city native aspiration. Eventually, she's going to need to find a house with a garden, but the house has to be in the city. So what I'm thinking is eventually we're going to be working up to Vivian moving into the old salt lot, and then we'll renovate that and turn it into like a witchy space where she can garden and stuff like that. As far as being a city sim, because she's a young adult living in the city, I think she's a young adult. She might be an adult. Let's check. She's a young adult. That's what I thought. Okay, but she's going to try everything once. She wants to explore the city. She wants to have the most knowledge she can of the area and of the world in general. So she will try pretty much anything once. That means spicy foods. That means the bubble machines. That means music, anything. She might even try to do different things, like in the city you can do the living statue thing, so she might try that. She's just going to be doing everything. Eventually she has to own a cow plant, which is part of the botany aspiration of completing it, but I also wanted it to be a specific part of this challenge because I think there's something very magical about the cow plants, and I'm going to be honest, they're my favorite thing in the game. So that's a specific part. She has to own a cow plant at some point, and fingers crossed we can keep it alive because I always forget to feed them. This is also a part of the challenges that witches are not a fan of technology. So she has to use it as little as possible. When I built this apartment, actually, I did not put a computer in it. She has a TV, but she doesn't have anything really fancy. There's no radio, there's no computer. She does have a dishwasher. I might get rid of that. But there's nothing fancy, no electric or talking toilets or anything. And so Vivian is going to have to get around the world using technology as little as possible. Obviously, she's going to have to use the phone that's built into the game because that's how you communicate with other Sims and travel and pick jobs and things. But that's a little different. I'm not going to be having her like playing games on her phone or anything. The only part of this section of the challenge that I'm not entirely sure of yet, and maybe you guys could leave some comments about what you think, is whether or not her limiting of technology should include rocket science, because one of the other things is that to complete this challenge, you have to complete all nature-related skills and complete all nature-related collections. And one of those collections would obviously be the plant collection. And so she would have to go to space and go to Sixum to get the alien plants. She would also have to go into space to get the plants and things that you get just exploring space. You don't actually go anywhere. So we'll figure that out. She also has to choose good magic or bad magic. And obviously that's not a real thing in the game. I'm not using any mods. This is just Maxis EA Sims 4 game stuff. The only modded stuff I have in the game is custom content, clothes, hair, that Create a Sim stuff. So for good magic or bad magic, to be a good witch, she has to get a level 10 charisma skill. Or to be a bad witch, she has to get a level 10 mischief skill. So we'll see which way Vivian goes. She also has to teach another her craft. So she can teach a child, a friend, a significant other. She just has to help someone else work on these skills that she's working on. This could mean many things for Vivian. Could she have a family in the future? Will she have a roommate? I don't know yet. We're also going to, and this is the final part of the challenge as it's laid out so far, is with Cats and Dogs coming out Friday, she will find a familiar. So cats and dogs, it's mostly cats and dogs. There's also foxes and raccoons and stuff like that. But she's going to get an animal companion. Obviously, I haven't played the pack yet, so I'm not sure whether we're just going to go in and create a sim and custom create her familiar and just add it to her household and just boom, familiar done. Or if there's something in the game that's just, we're going to adopt something, we'll figure that out later. But that's the challenge as it is right now. I'm sure I'll be adding new things, new rules. When I say I'll add new rules, I don't mean I'll be expanding it to make it easier more, as I'll be adding new requirements and new goals and that kind of thing. And also, every time we complete a goal, this little thing will pop up in the bottom corner so we can keep track of which goals we have completed. So let's get started. Let's just hop right in. So, like I said, Vivian has not been in this apartment yet. So I'm excited. I don't know if she's excited. She looks so good in it. Look at the yellow little matches. Also, I'm missing a cabinet. We'll fix that later. Also, if you'll notice, Vivian has 20,000 simoleons. But what I'm thinking is that she will not be, when she moves out, because part of the challenge is to have a house where you can garden, but also in the city, so Old Salt, clearly. Or a penthouse, if she's feeling that. So what I'm thinking is when she moves out, I will just evict her household from the lot. I won't move her out, actually. Like, you move the sim out by clicking the phone and stuff. I won't actually move her out just because that would sell the furniture or it would put the furniture in her inventory, and clearly she did not earn any of this. So that's how we're going to solve that issue. But so let's get Vivian a job, and she's already picking a skill for herself, I guess, to start with, because she wants to read a book. Let's see. So what kind of job do we think Vivian should have? Oh, volunteering. I think she'll probably volunteer too. Eventually. We'll just have to figure it out. Also, this is not going to be a requirement in the challenge because stores and restaurants are they're a little different kind of thing, and they take a lot of time. But maybe eventually she could own like a witch store, or you know what I mean? She could sell herbs, or she could sell crystals. A store that sells kind of those natural elements that she'll be working with anyway and be collecting a lot of. So it'd be kind of a cool thing. We could have a custom store that instead of, you get extra items from your collection that you don't need. Instead of just selling them in inventory, we can sell them in a store, which will be a little more cool, I think. So let's find her a job. I think picking her occupation is going to be one of the most difficult things because little technology, she's very friendly, that kind of stuff. I don't think I want to do a get to work profession simply because they're a lot of work and no pun intended. And to advance in them properly, you actually have to go to them. And I think playing a lot of the Get to Work expansion is going to take a lot away from the challenge. Because they take a lot of time to go to work with them. And if you don't go every time, you're not making as much money. The Sims can't do as much. So that kind of thing. Let's see. I would say she could be a painter, but I feel like that's kind of an easy career. You level up and you make money really fast. I feel like she's kind of chilling out. She's not going to be a secret agent, obviously not a social media tech guru, not a writer, because she's probably never going to own a computer in her life. She could be a politician. Let's see. I know it's a life public service. They pick causes and things. Charity organizer. We could go for that, or we could also go for culinary. I'm kind of leaning toward politician, but my only thing with that is I think you do have to do things on the computer. I'm not 100% sure. So let's go with culinary for now, and then if it does turn out that I'll look it up after this, you can do the politician career without using a bunch of technology, then we can switch. Easy as that. So, boom. Vivian is now a dishwasher. Glamorous life. So she goes to work tomorrow at 4. So let's get some stuff started. We can go start exploring the city now. I love this part of San Myshuno. It's just this cute little, the courtyards and things. And I think it's really creative how they did the cityscaping in the City Living expansion pack, because you have all of these areas and courtyards like this one that are above ground level. And I think that's amazing because you can see the city going on, but you also have these clear spaces where the gameplay happens. I don't know. I just think it's beautiful. But let's start trying things. Of course, nothing's open. Oh, okay. Person's coming. Also, if you notice that a lot of the Sims in my game have this hair, which is also this hair. It's a hair I downloaded a while ago and I can't remember the name of the file, so I haven't removed it. It's honestly kind of awful, but the game loves it. It appears everywhere, all the time. So let's see. Let's order food. What should we start with? Should she be vegetarian? She doesn't actually have that trait. I didn't give it to her, but maybe she should be vegetarian. Yeah. All right, let's go vegetarian. Just in our minds. Keep that in mind. Feel free to call me out if I mess that up. That's so weird. Normally, I start a save and there are no children unless my sim has a child. The children just don't appear. She might learn to play an instrument just a little bit. She's not going to master that, clearly, because that's the try anything once thing. But, all right, let's see what she thinks. All right, so while we're waiting for Vivian to try her first city food, I just want to talk about cats and dogs. I'm sure you've heard a million things about cats and dogs already. You're tired of seeing people posting about it literally everywhere. But I cannot be more excited. First of all, there are foxes, and foxes are one of my favorite animals of all time. So I'm excited. Vivian will probably never have a fox just because that'd be me projecting on her too much. But somewhere in my Sims life, I will have a fox. You can count on that. But I didn't want to gush about cats and dogs. That's not what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about kind of my plans for what we're going to do with cats and dogs. I am going to be doing at least one create a sim video for cats and dogs outside of Vivian's familiar. And I don't even know if I'm going to dedicate an entire video to creating Vivian's familiar, if that's how we go about adding it. It just depends. I'm also going to do at least one speed build. And I already know what the speed build is, but I'm not going to spoil it. You will see it very soon as the game's out. But I'm really excited about it. I haven't seen anyone else do it yet because I am not cool enough to have early access to things. But I'm really hoping no one else does this because I've had this idea in my head since the pack was announced. And I'm pumped. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but if you want the apartment that Vivian is living in, you can find it in the gallery. My origin ID is Veronica Good 6. You can find that spelled out below if you're not sure how to spell it. If Vivian is not on the gallery, but if anyone wants her, feel free to comment and I will upload her to the gallery. I just wasn't sure if anyone wanted her. She also has a lot of custom content on. I think even her skin tone might be custom content. So if you want to download Vivian, I can upload her to the gallery and maybe make a post on my Tumblr that has all of the CC of hers linked, or at least all of it that I can find. I'm sure no one would be super upset if you couldn't get all of her clothes and stuff, but at least like her hair and stuff. Or even if you just want what Vivian's wearing and you don't want Vivian herself, you can probably find it on my Tumblr. So just look there. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. What are we protesting? I don't know what they're protesting. I'm not going to join it. It looks like they're protesting the justice system of San Myshuno. And she thinks it's hilarious. Alrighty. Well, she wants to plant something. Same. We need to get things started. I actually want to collect a poster, though. It's kind of... Well, never mind. So this first episode has been a lot about explaining the challenge, but I don't want it to just be a bunch of boring stuff. So we're going to try to get at least one thing started. And I think that first thing is going to be... Let's do at least one thing from the botany aspiration today. So she needs to plant something 3 times and weed or water plants 10 times for the first part of the aspiration. We're also going to talk to this person, or not, because they're not performing yet. I wanted to tip them so we could get the costume. But so is she joining the protest of her? Okay. I don't know what the cause is. I don't know if she knows what the cause is, but she's protesting it. All right. So let's see. Let's go to New Crest. Or not New Crest. Let's go to Willow Creek because they have that community garden. And we'll plant something. Let's get this show on the road. Also, I've done a lot of renovations of some of these houses just in my spare time. So, especially these houses, I've definitely done. And a few others. But if you're interested in any of that, or if you just, I don't know, curious about what I do build-wise, check out my gallery page. I think the one I did for Daisy Hovel is one of my favorites. I also turned the Crick Cabana into the Cute Cabana. So, who are these people? They are not coming with us. Especially since that man was ready to wrestle and we're just here to plant. We're not trying to wrestle any flowers. Also, we will be doing, for sure, a lot of stuff in the outdoor retreat pack. We have that, and I know that's where the herbalism skill comes from, and I know there's a lot of plants and stuff out there, but we'll definitely be doing an outdoor retreat sometime soon. Because what better way for Vivian to get in touch with nature than that? And we'll also be going into this tree, because there's the hidden area. So we'll go in there, but we're not going to do that today because it takes more time than I'd like to spend right now. But let's go here. And we can water some stuff. She obviously doesn't have any. Can she not water it? They don't need any watering? Okay. Let's see. All right, do we harvest this? Or did you just look at it? Yeah, you just looked at it. What did we get? Open it up. It better be good. This is our first collectible. This is how we're starting off. It is Poppy. I'm Poppy. That's another thing. We're going to have to figure out where we're going to put all of these collectibles in that little apartment that she has. Oh, and a frog. Because we're going to collect, because it's all the nature collections. So that's all the plants. And we can do, for all the plants, we can either have a chest or something that has every plant in it, like at least one, and then still have our garden. We can have a garden that has one of everything planted, even like some of them spliced together, whatever. Depends. We have to collect every frog. We have to collect all the crystals. We have to collect all the fish. There's a lot of stuff. And I think for fish, we're going to do fish bowls because I don't see Vivian as the amount of fish on the wall type. And she is making a friend. Who is this? Finn. I like that name. Where is Finn? Oh, I thought she was just to stand there and talk to someone. I was like, there's no one there. Watch, she's going to find him. He's going to be gone. That looks like a vampire walking on the street. Vivian will also not become a vampire. That's not something we're going to do. She might talk to ghosts, though. We can get real supernatural here. She can have vampire friends. I just don't want her to be a witch vampire. That's just too much going on. Yeah, by the time she got to him, he was gone. Okay. This is Nabuya Mori. Nabuya or Nobaya Mori. Like, oh my gosh, is that a pun? He's not gonna, like, no buy more. He, like, not gonna buy any more stuff. He looks like he buys a lot of stuff. His hair is blue. He's got some snazzy stuff around his neck. He's dressed like he's got places to be. He does not walk like he has places to be, but that's his prerogative. These plants take forever, but hopefully by the time we come back in the next episode, the plants will have started to grow and we can do some stuff with them. And we'll also start to figure out a way that Vivian can garden without having to travel super far. Plus, you can get plants at some of the festivals, like the Romance Festival has lots of flowers and stuff. I also think that with the plants, Vivian is not going to be, the market stalls in San Myshuno. There's the fresh produce one, and you can buy pretty much every plant. I think if we went and bought all the plants, it'd kind of be cheating, since one of the goals is to collect that, and we could collect pretty much all of it in less than a minute buying that stuff. So, send Vivian home. But yeah, so I just really wanted to get into the challenge and start explaining it and what we're doing and kind of get Vivian set up. If I haven't decided whether Vivian wants to do good magic or bad magic, aka charisma skill or mischief skill. So if anyone has any opinions or votes for that, let me know what you would prefer for her to do. I could go either way. We don't know who Vivian is yet. She could be a real mischievous witch. That sounds like I'm trying to say something lighter than it is. But no, she could be a mischievous witch. Who knows? Maybe she likes to prank her neighbors. Or call ghosts around to haunt things. You never know. But yeah, so Vivian's going to say hi to Penny Pizzazz. I'm going to go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let me know what you think of this series. If you have any suggestions for the challenge or anything you want to see in the future. Bye.